Hey guys, welcome to this video. My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer protection lawyer. And the other day I was speaking with a group of business owners. They own credit repair organizations. And one of them asked me a very good question. They said, how do I go about finding a lawyer who will sue the credit bureaus? What do I need to say or what do I need to look for? And as I was explaining my thoughts on that, it occurred to me that some of what I said might be helpful to you guys. And so I want to share with you, when you find a lawyer that you think, hey, this might be somebody that can help me with credit report errors, how do you reach out to that lawyer? And look, obviously this is just my personal views. Other lawyers may feel differently, but I think most lawyers would have a pretty similar approach to the way that I do it. There aren't many of us that do this type of work. And the ones that I've spoken to about this, they feel the same as what I'm about to share with you. And so let me give it to you kind of the positive and the negative. So what to do, what not to do. And then, of course, you can make your own decision. But here's what I would suggest to you. Be very, very clear in what your issue is. Be precise. So here's what I love. When I get an email from somebody that says, hey, I watch your YouTube videos, or this lawyer referred me to you, or whatever. And they say, I'm just making this up, I had a Capital One account, and in June 2018, I paid it off. And I have the settlement letter, and I have the canceled check, my bank statements. And then in about January 2019, I noticed it was on my credit report. So I called Capital One a few times. They wouldn't fix it. So in April 2019, I disputed it with Equifax, Experian, TransUnion by a letter. I included the settlement letter from Capital One and my bank statement and canceled check. And the results came back, and it still had a balance on there. So I disputed again in June 2019, and again the responses came back, and I can prove they got my letter. Okay, so I'm looking at that. And I go, this is great. Like, I know exactly what has happened. And then I would respond to that and say, that sounds great. What you're telling me, I believe you have a Fair Credit Reporting Act case. Please send me the documentation. The settlement letter from Capital One, your bank information, the dispute letters you sent out, the credit reports, the results of investigation. Let me just look at all that. Okay. Now, let me give you another example. Say the same thing, but they never went to the credit bureaus. They just, documented, here are all the times that I wrote and called Capital One and they refused to fix it. Well, again, it's great because I can look at that and say, at least under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you do not have a claim because you haven't gone to the credit bureaus. But I could respond to the person and say, hey, based on what you're telling me, it sounds like you just need to do a dispute to the credit bureaus. I can walk you through how to do that. I can help you write it, whatever it is. Okay. So it's very clear. So that's kind of the positive. Let me give you the negative. Here's what happens with me, and I'm sure with other lawyers. I'll get a message from the receptionist. It says, Joe Blow called, need to speak with John about a private matter. No email, expect a call within an hour. And I'm looking at that going, okay, I'll just put that with a dozen other identical calls who I happen to know most of those people are salespeople. That's the way, or it'll say, Bob Smith called, and I'm just making up Bob Smith. Okay. Bob Smith called and returning your phone call, John, to finish your conversation. I look at that message and go, I've never spoken with Bob Smith. I didn't make a phone call to him. Again, that's a salesperson. I don't have time. I get so many of those. There's no reason for me to sit there and make a bunch of 30-minute phone calls on those. Okay. So somebody else will call in and say, I have an issue with credit reporting. I want to sue. And again, no email. Well, I'm looking at that. Almost every single time they have found me online, but they have chosen not to provide an email, and they want me to call. Well, I have no idea. Did they do disputes? Did they not do disputes? Where do they live? Again, that's going to be very low priority for me because obviously my highest priority are my current clients and then past clients and then potential new clients. So again, I have no idea. Am I going to be talking to somebody that says, Yeah, because I've had this before where I call them back and they go, yeah, I've got some wrong stuff on my credit reports and I need you to fix it. I go, okay, what's wrong? Well, I don't know. It's on my credit reports. Can't you see? Like, no, I don't have your credit reports. Well, pull my credit reports and you'll see. I'm like, you don't even know what's wrong? Look, I don't have time for this. The reason I called you is I need you to handle all this and just tell me when it's done. It's like, that ain't how it works, buddy. Okay? So don't do that. Okay? Or some people will even email me and they'll say, hey, John, I have false credit reporting and I need you to sue. Will you take my case? Like, I don't know. What is your case? So I reply back and I say, well, tell me what the problem is. Okay? And what you've done about it. And have you done a dispute letter? Did you do an online dispute? What proof did you provide? I mean, just, kind of standard stuff. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. And I had that happen recently, and the person wrote back, they said, why are you wanting me to do all this work? You want me to tell you the problem and to show you the credit reports and show you the dispute letters? Like, why would I take all this time to give that to you? I'm sort of looking around like, okay, maybe this is some friend of mine like playing a joke on me or something. Like, what do you mean? Like, do you call a doctor and say, hey, I need you to do knee surgery on me? And the doctor says, well, what's wrong? Well, doctor, if I have to tell you all that, what's the point of going to you? Well, the doctor ain't going to start cutting on you without knowing what's going on. I'm not going to agree to represent you when I don't even know what's happening. Or other people will say, well, John, I've got a problem with this account and I did these disputes and they won't fix it. And it's a clear violation. Will you take my case? And I say, well, sounds pretty good. Send me the information. I go, no. I'm not going to let you look at my stuff until you agree to take the case. Well, again, how would I possibly know? It's like saying, will you take my car wreck case, but I'm not going to give you the details of whether I ran the red light or the other guy ran the red light. Well, I can't tell you that. Okay? So again, my point is, when you find a lawyer that you say, hey, I think this lawyer could help me, communicate with that lawyer. Email's great. You can always follow it up with a phone call. Hey, I sent an email, should have arrived a few hours ago. If you go to the lawyer, check that out. But in the email, like, be clear. Here's the problem. Here's what I did to fix it. Here's the result. I have all my paperwork. Or, hey, look, I did online disputes. I don't have any record of those, but I can tell you exactly what I did. And then that helps the lawyer to be able to kind of sort. Because, again, I can't tell you how many people call and there's no context at all. It's just, I need an immediate call back to find out about my case. And I'm looking at it going, I don't represent this person. What do they mean their case? And then I'm like, well, what is this? And I've made enough of those calls where they go, hey, thanks for calling. So I have a great deal on business phone lines. You're going to love it. Let's go ahead and get you set up. And I'm like, the message you left with my receptionist was your case. Oh, yeah, a case of helping you be a better law firm because I'll give you a better discount on your business phones. It's like click, or, hey, I need to get an update on this lawsuit. And I'm going, I don't recognize your name. They're like, well, I'm glad you called because I can get you a better deal on your malpractice insurance. So that's so common. If you leave a message for a lawyer and it's this kind of mysterious, I don't want to give any details and it's a super secret, private, personal matter, don't expect a phone call back. Okay, at least the lawyers that I know that do this type of work, they're not going to call you back. You've got to give a little bit of detail. And again, email is great. Every lawyer has a website. Well, I assume every lawyer has a website with a contact form. You can put your information. Look, if you don't want to say it was Capital One, you can say it was an original creditor, or it was a debt collector, or it was one of the bureau. Like, if you don't want to give the information, you can describe it. And then that lets the lawyer look at it and say, I think this person has a case. Or, no, this person doesn't have a case. When I get inquiries and they're talking about when we went off the gold standard and my name wasn't signed in blue ink and under admiralty law because it wasn't all caps and I'm a sovereign citizen. Look, I'm not going to spend any time getting back on that. Okay. So make a reasonable, precise, very clear email so that the lawyer can help you. Because that's the whole point. If you're reaching out to lawyers, you want some help. So make it clear. And anyway, I hope this is helpful to you. I know we're in a culture right now where, there's always somebody that's offended, and I get these sort of odd messages about, talking about this debt collector broke the law. And it's, I'm very offended by that because my second cousin 3 times removed once worked as a collector. So I feel like you're personally attacking me. It's like, okay. I don't know how you go through life like that, but okay. So if you disagree with it, that's fine. Okay. Then maybe I'm not the lawyer for you. But if this makes sense, if you're talking to a doctor, a nurse, you're calling the pharmacist saying, I need some information about this prescription that I have with you. And the pharmacist says, well, what's the prescription? Well, I don't want to give you all those details. I mean, come on, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So you've got to give the details, be precise, be clear, so that the lawyer can tell you as quickly as possible, yes, I think I can help you, or no, I don't think I can help you. Because either way is good for you. You're not sitting around waiting. But if you send this very vague, ambiguous, and look, doesn't this sound very repetitious to what I say about doing dispute letters to credit bureaus? We don't want to do these sort of vague, ambiguous, just amorphous thing. No, make it very clear. Here's the account. Here's what I'm disputing. Here's why I'm disputing. Here's my proof for why I'm disputing. Here's what I want you to do. Be very clear in your communication, and it'll be, I think, very much to your advantage. So appreciate you watching this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.